Whispers in the midnight air, ghostly fingers in my hair, shadows dancing by my bed, echoes of the things they once said.
Welcome to another episode of Ghost Girls for the ghost curious, the skeptics, and everything in between. Anyone who's had a what the hell was that kind of moment, this is for you. I'm Leah.
And I'm Nicole.
This is our Spooky Girl podcast.
We're just two girlies.
We're two girlies.
Are, interested in some ghosts and some stories. And we're about to sit down and chat with our friend Tamalin. And so today our guest is Tamalin Polo. She's an entrepreneur, event producer, and the founder of Savoir Agency, a top-tier experiential events company based right here in Los Angeles. She lives in West Hollywood, love that, with her French husband, but her story really starts long before that. At age 19, Tamalin was a single mom hustling to build a life for herself and her child, juggling gigs, chasing big dreams, and somehow still getting her musical prodigy of a child to shows on time. She's always had a sixth sense and a deep belief in the paranormal, but one encounter in her 20s shook her so deeply she convinced herself it had to be a hallucination until the house. And the spirit inside of it made it very clear that it was not. We're so excited to have her here today to talk about the haunting that changed everything. Welcome, Tamalin.
Welcome, Tamalin.
We're so excited that you're here.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We want to know really quick just a little bit about you. What is your favorite part about event planning? And, what's the part you secretly dread every time too?
Yes, I need to know. I've always been curious about like the event planning industry.
Like one of the favorite things that I always say is that I think event producers are like a special kind of crazy.
Yeah, fun.
I think we like the challenge. It's like, if you tell us that we can't pull something off, like we secretly want to pull it off.
Like that's the fire. You're like, I will do that.
Literally.
That is you.
We secretly, we complain, but we really want to pull it off because we also want to be the hero.
Yeah.
That's kind of, we like the challenge.
You like the challenge. I love it. What's the most extra event you've ever worked on? Like the kind that makes you go, I love my job, but also I need a nap.
Tamal's like, I need a lot of naps.
Literally. One of the signs that stress is coming, have you ever noticed when someone yawns a lot?
Yeah.
They're not actually bored. That's the sign of stress.
I did not know that.
Oh, that is
tell my husband that.
A yawner.
I think that even if look this up, but I'm pretty sure like it's one of the signs, like if you're a CIA agent or someone's lying or something, they start to fidget or they yawn is because it's like a sign of pressure or stress.
I feel like I have to yawn right now.
I know. I feel like I have to yawn.
I'm thinking about it.
They're not actually tired. So yeah, it's literally like it's a response where you're kind of exerting yourself. I had a project one time, it was for the Oscars, and we had literally a 3-hour window to set up an entire rooftop event. And there was one of probably the only times in Los Angeles that we had an incredible storm that was happening. So,
oh my gosh.
And I think to some people, they would like 3 hours sounds like plenty. It's just not
that's
plenty.
not enough.
No, that's not a lot of time.
So we actually, I actually counted steps. From the one elevator that we only had one elevator to load in 12 different vendors. So we counted steps like as if we had a marching band. So every single vendor had steps counted. So that way, the minute we had that elevator open, we knew how many steps it took for them to get up and literally get down. So we had enough time to get people up and down.
Because time mattered that much.
Time mattered that much.
Wow.
And,
oh my gosh.
50 steps.
And like, I just pretty much prayed to the rain gods that the rain would be gone. Yeah. And it was just such an interesting, when we watched like the time lapse and also the video recap of that entire event, we remember seeing the bus come in with all the guests arriving and they were so excited. And we also at the same time could see the entire crew sweeping up all the debris.
Oh my God.
So on the rooftop and then seeing the buses coming in with everyone dressed up in gowns and everyone on the top completely sweeping the debris as they were coming in the elevators and going down. It was just incredible. But it was an epic event.
Did you pull it off just in the nick of time?
Of course.
You always do. I love
beautiful.
That is an amazing incredible story. I don't know. I'd be yawning up a storm.
I was deathly sick right after that
Oh,
because
I
your
bet.
body
Makes
like carries. Yeah,
sense. Your body's like, I need a
Yeah.
break.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I've been to some of the parties you plan just for like mutual friends, and they're incredible.
Thank you.
So you said you've always had a sixth sense.
Oh,
I did. Yeah.
When is the first time that like you kind of became aware of that? And was there kind of like an experience that, brought that to your attention?
Well, so I'm Thai. Like my parents are from Thailand, and I think just the Asian culture has always believed in afterlife, and so there's just they have a lot of superstition in our culture, so that has just been a natural part of my upbringing and childhood, and so that has always been part of our conversation.
Right.
My mother has always felt like she's had a sixth sense.
Wow.
So I think that maybe because she's always spoken about it, I've spoken about it. And it wasn't until I had spoke about it amongst my friends did it become a silly thing, right? Like my friends are like, that's ridiculous. No, you don't. You've got to be kidding. So then that's when I started to think maybe I was silly,
Right.
But other than that, it felt quite normal to me that sometimes in certain situations I wouldn't feel like I was alone.
Yeah.
If that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The house that I grew up in, my mother would say, oh, I had that woman visit again.
Oh.
I wish she would leave me alone. And I know we bought the home from somebody who was a widow. So then I just sort of defaulted like, well, I guess I forgot the name of the man who we bought the house, but Mr. So-and-so, like, maybe it was his wife that was visiting. And so my mother would make comments about that.
Yeah.
And we would get a little frustrated, like, Mom, like, that's kind of creepy. Like, we don't need to know that she visited last night. Like,
a little less
sometimes
detail.
we kind of feel
Chill,
that
Mom.
presence, or like my grandmother would make comments if she would visit from Thailand, like,
Really?
the woman visit me too. And we're like, oh, here we go again. Like my sister and I'd be like,
gosh.
It's so funny.
like, you know what? Here in America, we don't have those conversations.
Right.
Like, it just wasn't a part of the American culture to talk about ghosts
Right.
or spirits. But in the Asian culture, you sort of respect spirits and you don't disrupt them. You kind of just let them be, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the way, at least it came across when we were growing up.
Wow. I like
Beautiful.
your mom just being like, the woman visited again last night. Like,
Yeah.
her just saying that so casually, and then your grandma being like, I saw her too.
You're like, you guys.
Yep. And like even now it's actually developed. It feels like it's developed more, and I don't know that I love it, but but I feel it. Like I've had since then, people have passed in my life that when they have passed, I have felt their presence, and now I just can't ignore it. I'm like, I feel like Grace came to visit me last night, or I will see, my uncle passed away a few years ago, and I saw him, and I'm like, that's not him because he's not here. There's no way that's him. But I see a man walking by, and it's his face. But it's like almost like he drops in. He's dropped into the man across the way, but that's not him. There's no way that's him. But then he keeps dropping in that man's face. But there's a man walking by, but is that him? Or is he trying to remind me that he's present right now? And he's letting me know that he's just saying hello.
He's saying hello.
So it's like, have you ever like looked at somebody and you're like, wow, you remind me of somebody. You feel like they're in the room or their presence is there. I don't know how to explain that.
No, that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
actually.
And so that happened with my uncle. A few times. Do you remember Facebook where they'd poke you?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
my uncle passed away, and a week later there was a poke of my Facebook, and I was like, how is that possible? Did I just miss that before? Or did you do that on purpose? Like that was so that was weird. And then he dropped into someone's, like, it's some man walking on the street, like, and so I was like, that's weird.
Whoa.
And then my
pop
daughter's grandmother passed away a couple years after that, and same thing happened. There's a voice message from her a week after she passed away, but then she also shows up in my apartment in my dream, and I'm like, but what I was dreaming, was you dreaming, or did she show up in your apartment? So I'm like starting to see these things happen, and I'm like, do I have these intuitive gifts, or are they gifts, or am I just like, is it how they show up? I don't. So I'm hearing that that's maybe how they do show up if you do have some deeper intuitive gifts. So then that's where I'm questioning, did I have a sixth sense as a child?
Yes.
Does that?
That makes a lot
that
of
makes
sense.
a lot of sense. I mean, that's wild. It's like he just temporarily popped into that body to say hi. Like that's crazy. Let's go back to 2001. You were 24, raising your daughter, and your friend had just bought that house. What was the vibe of the house when you first walked into it?
Tell us about this house
that we read about in your form.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, as a kid, I always, again, just being completely innocent and naive, my mother having these stories about spirits and stuff, you just kind of thought, okay,
right.
Didn't even have the term sixth sense in my mind. Like I didn't even know what that meant, obviously. Fast forward, a friend of mine, she wanted to get a real estate license because her father was a contractor. And we're in our mid-20s and we're sort of deciding, what do we want to be when so now we have to like really figure out what we want to be. I was a young mom at the time, and I was working in the interior design industry, and she was like, I think a jewelry salesperson. Her dad's like, you need to get a real job. And luckily, because he was in the contractor business, he gave her an opportunity. He says, like, you get your real estate license and I'll help you put your first down payment on a home, and you get to use your license as like, your first gig. What a deal.
Okay. That is a good deal.
Right? Yeah. And so she's like, look, dude, like if I get this house, like you could be like my first roommate, and I would sort of help pay for the mortgage.
Love that.
And I was like, great. I don't have to live in a crappy apartment, and my daughter would get like a real first room.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What a deal. Right?
Yes.
Great. We find the deal of the century. We come to find out later why. Deal of the century. This house has been on the market for, I guess, whatever. It was a probate. Don't know what that means.
Is it here in LA, by the way?
It was in Temple City, California.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So that's just like slightly east of Pasadena.
Right.
Okay.
But it was a 3-bedroom home, like a single family home.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in a good condition. It was nice. It was like, it had a nice little facelift to it. Like, we're like, oh, back in the day, it was in 2000, early 2000. New carpeting,
Love that. Love that new carpet.
It was fresh carpet, and like the kitchen was nicely like redone. Like it, it had that like facelift of a new track home-esque, whatever.
Right.
But we're like, dude, it looks like it's move-in ready. Like, why would this be on the market for so long? And because her dad was a contractor, like she didn't have to go through all these loans. He had the cash to put down, and it was a probate, which I guess means the court owns it. And one of those scenarios, I didn't know what that meant.
That was going to be my question too. What's probate?
But I come to find out later, I guess a probate is like, maybe they haven't been paying for the loan, whatever it is. It's usually either someone's passed or they haven't been paying for the loan, whatever. So it's owned by the court, and they want to get rid of it. So you're getting a steal.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So here we are in our mid-20s. We cannot wait. It's a quick sale. We're getting in. And her and I are like, when do we get the keys? Like, Linda, when do we get the keys, Linda? Okay. Linda gives us the keys at 9:00 at night when the escrow closes. And we're like, we don't care what time it is, girlfriend. We bought a 6-pack of beer and we're moving in.
I love
and so
it.
we move in. And we're moving all of our stuff and planning all the things. And we didn't care how late it was. We just couldn't wait to just obviously move into our new place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the first night there was a little something. I'll get back to it later.
Okay.
And we move our stuff in. And then, so at this point in time, I had a job that I did some traveling, and she had a job as a jewelry salesperson where she would have to drive along the coast. When I was in town, she was not in town, or vice versa.
Okay.
And so the first few weeks we kind of were missing each other. So we didn't have a lot of time together in our new place. So things were like still settling.
Yeah.
So the first week and a half I was there, we're trying to get settled. It's just my daughter and I, and she wasn't quite comfortable to sleep in her room yet. So she's sleeping in my room, and we're just getting ready to go to bed. And all of a sudden we hear like, and we're like, she goes, Mama, what's that? And I'm like, I don't know, girlfriend.
Oh my God.
And when it's one of those houses where there's about a foot crawl space, you can, when you hear something drop on the floor, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit of, bounce to the rest of the, right? So, so we have, the windows in the house are the French windows, but the kinds that, I don't know what they're called, where you can pull them down, up and down.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes. I don't know what they're called either, but I know what you're
I know what
talking
you're
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pull them up and down, and they latch up into the center. So,
yes.
But if you're coming from outside and you were to push the windows up, you could just crawl right into the windows. They're not waist length. They're like knee length. You could just crawl into the windows. So I just envision somebody has crawled into the house through the front living room.
Right.
So I'm in my bedroom, which is right next to the living room, and I immediately think someone's in the house. So
Worst feeling ever.
So I call her grandparents, which are less than a mile away, and I said, I think someone's here. And so they come over and they're like, no one's here. They're laughing and making fun of, like, it's probably a giant rat. And I was like, this is not funny.
Oh,
And
Yes.
so my daughter's almost 5 at this point, and she's like really scared. So we decide to go sleep at their house, and we're like, okay, this is just just bumps and creaks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like
It's a weird night.
yeah, weird night, and so she comes home, and we're like, oh, we had a little weird thing, but that's fine, it's okay. She leaves again, and I'm like, oh, it's too bad. I get to sleep in this place by myself again. All right, no big deal. We're gonna make it through the night. And then we start to go to bed again. This time, CD player goes off, and it's playing Lenny Kravitz.
What?
Oh. But and my daughter goes, Mom, what's happening? And I'm like, why is this playing a CD? Because like you'd have to push play, and it's a 5-disc CD player, but it's the only one that has a CD in it. So it was just like, why is it playing the CD? But like, I don't know. And so
weird.
5-disc CD players. First of all, can we go back in time?
I remember.
I forgot that those
I do
existed.
remember.
Honestly,
Yeah, my daughter didn't even know what a cassette was. But so
Wow.
that was the second thing that happened. Things started happening, but it was only happening when she wasn't around.
So only when your roommate
when you were
was
most
gone.
vulnerable. Yeah.
So then she came home.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. She leaves.
It starts happening.
Only at night.
No.
What?
Yeah. And then the next thing happens. We
Ghost
have
just singled you out.
Yeah, why is it always at night too? Seriously.
always at night. Next thing happens. The oven buzzer goes off. And what I didn't understand is, why would the oven buzzer go off? I haven't used the oven buzzer. So if a timer is going off, they would be timed and going off at the same time. Or there would be some sort of rhyme or reason. So now I'm really not settled. I start talking to friends and family. I'm like, this is kind of weird. I'm like not feeling well. Like this is uncomfortable. And I'm starting to get that weird sixth sense. Because when I get that feeling, it doesn't feel, that feeling feels like is when, like what you hear in the movies, that you're not alone. It just feels like this hollow feeling. Like the house always feels kind of slightly cold.
Yeah.
I don't know, like when you're cold and you're like, I just have to put socks on all the time. Or I don't know why it feels like I'm always in the shade because it's always cold. But the house is really bright. And like, why do I always feel like cold? I don't know.
Right.
There always feels like someone's watching. I can't explain it. You're always feels like that. So I'm like getting kind of uncomfortable. So I have friends over for dinner one night. My roommate's home, and I start telling him like, weird things are happening, and my roommate's like irritated with me.
Had you mentioned anything to your roommate at this point, or was it more like something you're keeping to yourself?
I started to tell her, but I was kind of like lightly telling her how, like, I've always had this weird like feeling, like my mom used to tell me this happens in my house and like this. And then she started to get offended by it. So this one particular night, 2 friends of mine are over for dinner, and my roommate starts to say, yeah, Tamalin says that the CD player went off or whatever, which I just think that anything could have happened. So what, that it went off? Like, there could have easily been an explanation. I said, well, the radio could have gone off, but why was the CD the one that went off? And like, if it went off, why did it play the one that had the disc in it? Like, I just, there's layers. And then the oven, she's like, well, I was cleaning the oven the other day. I'm like, right, but that was 3 days before you left. So didn't the buzzer go on
3 days later?
Yeah,
what?
It doesn't add up.
I'm just like,
3-day timer.
So we started getting into a heated argument, and I was getting more frustrated with her trying to prove me wrong, and for some reason I was like, you're getting like really annoyed when I'm just trying to say like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And so it was a little awkward. So our friends were like, well, we're gonna take off now. You go.
We're out of here.
Awkward. Yeah.
So went to bed that night, and I get a knock at my door. And and I it was just creepy because I get the knock at the door, but the door opens slowly like a movie, and there's the shadow of her standing there, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Whoa.
But it was about 2 a.m. She goes, I believe you now.
I just got chills. That was crazy. I believe you now. And the way the door opened when she said it.
Because so it's at night, so I'm in the dark because I'm in my room, but the hallway light was on, so she was dark because of the silhouette was behind her. Because the light was behind her,
like a movie.
And she goes, "I believe you now." And I was like, "Oh my God, what? Really? We're good now?" I was like, "We're good." She goes, "It's been messing with me all night," and that's when I was like, "Oh shit!" At the front door.
All night.
So then this is when things got really intense. So,
my God.
This is juicy.
Yeah. So then, what happened was she had the master bedroom of the home.
Okay.
And the master bedroom obviously has a bathroom ensuite bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But that bathroom has a door that it's very strange the way this house was cut out. But the bathroom had a door that was connected to a laundry room. And that laundry room also had a door that connected to the kitchen for whatever reason.
Okay.
It led into the kitchen. And the kitchen has another door that swung out into like the yard.
Okay.
Weird.
Interesting layout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
I don't know why, but I don't know if you guys can picture that.
I think I
can't.
can.
It's it's like leading to each other.
They're
Kind of
all-
maze
they're all
like,
kinda
honestly.
connected.
Yeah, I don't know if you can picture that. But so what happened was she said she was sleeping in her bed and she heard a knocking coming in from her bathroom.
Okay.
So then she goes to open her bathroom door and obviously there's no one in her bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Then she went back to bed and she hears the bathroom. So she keeps hearing the knocking from the bathroom. Then she hears the knocking from the other side of the bathroom door, which is the knocking from the laundry room.
No.
Laundry room knocking.
Absolutely not. That's
So then
scary.
she kept going in and then finally she goes out to the backyard because she thinks maybe there's a homeless or someone in the backyard.
Yeah.
So it's messing with her now.
It
Yeah.
switched.
And this is the night after like the friends are over, after you kind of got into
Yes,
that fight.
that-
It's
yes.
that night.
I'll show you.
Right.
Whoa. And so she kept opening doors and nothing's there where the knocking was coming from.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Spooky.
It's getting worse. Yeah. So then I was like, why are you opening the door?
Right.
I was like,
I'd be
why
too
are you
scared.
opening the doors?
Yeah.
Like, girlfriend, I would have not. I would have just gotten in the car and be like, bye.
Me
Like,
too.
seriously.
but she's like, I own the house now. Like, we are not leaving.
Yeah.
And I'm
Right.
like, oh, yes, we are.
We're selling this.
Bye. But this was like, we're like, okay, we've got a problem on our hands. So that's what started happening. She was like I've been spending the night like literally trying to figure out what's happening. And she went to the backyard and she was like looking to see if there was a person. I thought she was absolutely crazy.
Oh, wow.
And my daughter was still sleeping. And I was like, okay, well, this is a serious problem. Like, first of all, do not do that.
No,
Like, I think we need to call the police or
scary.
something. Like,
Yeah.
that's not okay. So we then sort of started to realize that we definitely have a problem on our hands. And
Yeah.
so we moved into the home in May in 2001.
Okay.
And we proceeded to live there for months where this phenomenon was happening, like literally for months. And it got progressively worse.
Like every
Was it every
day?
night?
Yeah.
It was every other night. It was sort of happening sporadically, but
Yeah.
the more we ignored it, the more it wanted to become more prevalent.
It was like defiant.
Yes.
Wow.
So first we started to call the realtor because we wanted to get a history on the home. And
Yeah.
the realtor had to try to find out what the history on the home was. So we were like waiting patiently. But then we started doing things like saging the home and then getting like holy
Yeah.
water. Things
Yeah.
weren't working. My mother, bless her heart, was trying to call the Thai priest to come in the home.
Oh.
My girlfriend was Catholic. She was like, we're not bringing in the priest in the home. We're going to bring in, so whatever. We were trying everything.
You're doing
Exorcism.
People
everything.
thought it was like the freaking museum. So we had friends like, I'm going to spend the night and see what's going to happen.
Oh my God.
I'm
It's like novel for them.
it was novel.
Like a
We
haunted
were like,
hotel.
get as many people here because we were like, it was honestly as funny as it sounded. It wasn't at all
Right.
because it was so
Yeah.
stressful on
It's
us that we were
traumatizing.
because
like,
that's where you live.
that's where we lived.
It's
We
supposed
were
to be
like,
your safe space. Yeah.
Yeah.
we were timing who was coming home at what time. And we were like, okay, you got to take a shower. Let's go together. We would all go into the bathroom and like turn around, like you go first. Next shift.
That's
like
very
literally, like,
stressful.
we would like shuffle and like just sleep in the same bedroom. Things that would occur in the house to the point where it started happening in the daytime. But
Oh my God.
just to give you an idea, like we would watch doorknobs turn in front of our eyes.
No.
Oh my God.
You could watch them turning and like you could hear the footsteps walking from one side of the house
Yeah.
to the next, and then you would just walk we'd be in her bedroom and you could see the doorknob from her bathroom turning, and then it would stop, and then the footsteps would walk from that side of her bedroom outside the bathroom from the kitchen. You would hear it
Well, footsteps.
through the living room to the hallway back to the other side of the master bedroom, and then see the doorknob, and like as if it was trying to come to where we were at, and we were like we'd just be sitting there like, what do we do?
Were they like heavy footsteps or more like light footsteps?
I would say average.
Average, just like an
Yeah.
average footstep.
And this was like a Saturday morning, you guys.
So
This
it's
wasn't like
daylight.
During daylight.
You're
like,
having
you could hear the
coffee.
neighbors outside mowing their lawn, and we're like,
no,
oh,
the
it
juxtaposition is
we
crazy.
would get to the point where we would actually talk to it and be like, "This is our home. You need to go now."
Oh, good. Or you tried. I mean,
We would be like, "You have to go now. Do not harm us." Like it was, but it was
Yeah.
stressful. I mean, I had a 5-year-old like, "Mommy,
Yeah.
what is that?" I'm like,
Oh.
it's pissing me off. It needs to go.
Yeah, it's
It
harassing
was
you.
really really difficult to live with.
Yeah.
We lived with it for about May till September, I think it was.
Okay, that's
Okay.
a long
Good
time
stretch.
to live with.
Yeah.
I live in fear.
Yeah, to not sleep well.
But we finally, so this is the part that gets sort of the closure part a little bit. But what we finally did is there was a big cul-de-sac barbecue kind of a thing during one of the holidays. I think it was Labor Day or something like that. And we decided, let's go talk to the neighbors, meet some of our folks. And we did. We started going around and they were like, hey, do you guys... Oh, one of the things we kept hearing a lot was running water. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, I've heard of this. Like ghost running water.
Like, think about a bowl of water if you're running like your fingers through water.
Oh, like that. Not like a faucet, but like, oh, interesting.
Always hear a lot of water. I don't know why, but I hear that I learned a lot about this after this happened to me because I got fascinated. We didn't have podcasts and that kind of information back then, honestly.
Right. No, that was
so now
early
I'm
2000s.
super fascinated about it. But yeah water and footsteps and doorknobs all the time. Like that just became a part of our lives. And then we finally started talking to our neighbors and we were like, hey, so have you guys ever know anything about the family that lived here before? And all of them were just sharing some information with us. And like, oh, wasn't that the an Asian man? I think they were Japanese, wasn't it? And then someone's like, yeah, it was his like daughter and his mother-in-law, wasn't it? Well, the wife went back to Japan. I never saw her again. And we're like looking at each other like, ooh. And they're like, but the mother-in-law was there. She was an old Japanese woman. They were saying that there was a father and a daughter. The daughter was about 13 or 14 years old. He had a wife that lived there, but apparently went back to Japan.
Oh,
They don't know where she went.
Oh,
but I guess like his mother came to live with him.
Okay.
So it ended up being the dad, the 13-year-old daughter, and the mother-in-law or the mother.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Don't know where the wife ended up.
Okay.
Oh.
But do you remember when I said the night that I moved in, something had happened? And I'd always had the sixth sense when I was younger. But when this thing happened to me the night we moved in and I was drinking, I was like, this is the first time in my life I do not want to believe that I have a sixth sense. Yeah. Because when I went to go close that window, I saw an apparition that I described as a little Japanese woman.
No.
And it was like a floating white head.
Oh my God.
With like black almond eyes. It was just jet black. But like the white like was this really dry white skin, just floating head with black wispy hair. And when I went to go close the window, it was just floating and staring straight at me like this close.
Oh my God.
That was the night you moved in?
That was the night I moved in. And I mean, obviously I froze. And I thought at that moment, I knew exactly what I saw, but I just said to myself, this is please tell me that I'm hallucinating right now. Like,
you didn't want to believe it.
I did not want to believe it. Right. I didn't tell anybody anything except I told my mother later when things started to happen because I knew she would believe me. Yeah. But I didn't utter it to anyone else until the neighbors had mentioned the Japanese family. And that's when I told my roommate, I have to tell you something that happened the first night. That's when she's like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, there's no way anyone would have believed me. I didn't even want to believe myself.
Right. Of course.
But until there was that connection.
Oh my God, Tamalin.
Oh my gosh.
And you later learn it's a Japanese woman. And that's who you saw. Wow.
So then we called Father John at the local Catholic church. And he came in.
Father John.
Literally, his name was Father John.
Love it.
And he came and blessed the home.
Okay.
And we had to read some,
scripture or something.
And the house was fine.
It was fine
Are
after
you serious?
that.
No, like just immediately.
It worked.
That eerie, it used to have this weird, like, I'm not even kidding. Like the house used to tremble, like, ooh, completely gone. If you've ever seen, I don't know how to explain it. Like the way I would describe a dream, like, or something where it's like there's this rumbling sound. And like, and all of a sudden it's like,
just like that.
Like that. That's it. Stop. That feeling of something watching you, that hollow feeling, that coldness, gone completely. Peace. Like, it's like as if it was gone. Like gone. After he left, like he blessed the house, gone, done.
Immediate.
I'm not even kidding you.
You got your home back.
Changed.
I cannot believe that.
That is insane. I have no words. I'm speechless.
Did you ever find out what happened? Like what happened to the family before? Like did someone pass away? Like
I never found out.
Never found out, but
it honestly put such a strain on our friendship with the girl who owned it. I ended up moving out a few months later.
That's what I was going to ask too. How long did you stay?
It put a real strain on our friendship.
Yeah.
My daughter did not want to sleep in her room. It was 2001, 9/11 hit.
Oh yeah.
Everything was difficult that year.
It's a hard year.
It's a dark year.
I ended up just getting my own place.
Yeah.
Not far, like a mile and a half away, but it definitely.
Are you still in contact with her, the woman that owned the house? No, yeah. I mean, that's a really heavy thing to experience together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I kind of bump into her around in the city at the time, but like, I don't really.
Yeah.
I heard, I mean, after that, I know she still owned it and stuff. I don't, but when I left, you know, he had already blessed the house and it felt
clear.
Peaceful. Like
it's back to normal.
Yeah, it felt.
Or back to peaceful.
But it was pretty incredible but since it was so long ago, like I said, they didn't have like podcasts and like, I don't remember searching the internet or anything like on things like that. But now that podcasts are out, what's interesting is I'm so interested about it. So when I listen to things and I hear some stories that have some similarities, like apparitions with the black eyes, I always go, oh my gosh.
You're like, I
I've
understand
seen
that.
Or like, some of these, like, or the water parts, I like, it almost validates what I experienced, right?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Does your daughter remember this?
Does your daughter
It's so interesting because she doesn't remember some of it, but she remembers the emotions.
Oh, yeah.
She remembers that. She'll just be like, I just remember like it being intense around that time. I remember Father John coming. I remember how like we would, I remember you and Georgie, her name was Georgie, my friend. I remember how you and Georgie would have arguments. I remember how we'd have to wait for her to come home for things. Like she remembers those things.
Whoa. Oh my God. That is wild.
Do you feel like this experience made you more open or more closed off to the spiritual realm?
Oh, it makes me very open, but it also makes me identify that there's different like entities and levels of spirituality. Because like what I experienced with my loved ones pass away is totally different than the ones that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. That's a really good point.
Has it shifted how you think about death, this experience, or what comes after death? Or was that the same question I just asked? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess what I was saying was like when I was younger and I thought I felt like I had this sixth sense or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I had this experience and I thought to myself, I must be hallucinating. Intuitively, I realized that they were clearly the different kinds. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because this literally felt like a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other ones were like my uncle dropping into like someone's face and my daughter's grandmother visiting in my dream. Like those felt like spirits that were saying, hi, I'm still here, or like angels or what have you. Right. Like in the way that we think of spirits.
Right.
But this other apparition, I'm like, that's creepy.
It didn't feel good.
Right? Like, and it wasn't like she was threatening me, but it was creepy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how to explain that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. What would you say to someone who's had a strange experience like yours, but keeps second guessing it or telling themselves it's a hallucination? Like, do you have any tips?
Yeah, or if someone has a roommate who's just like invalidating it, but they're knowing what they're seeing. Like, what would you say?
That's such a good question because I told my husband this story and I go, babe, do you believe in ghosts? And he goes, no. I go, do you believe in my story? He goes, yes. I go, well, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I know. And I go, yeah. But I mean, he goes, I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe what you're saying is true. And I go, well, that doesn't make any sense.
That's so funny.
You know, and I don't know what else to say. It's hard because if you don't experience, I guess I understand why you're saying that. But man, like I have told the story to people and they have a hard time believing me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You paint such a vivid picture though. It's like,
you're an incredible storyteller. I felt like I was there with you listening to those water sounds.
You clearly like lived it because you know it well. Like it's in you. It's in you.
Like I don't know how else to explain it. You know what I mean?
Of course. Wow.
Yeah, Leah and I have been talking a lot about just like skepticism and, you know, like we both have a little bit of skepticism, but the more and more life we experience and when we experience some of these weird phenomena, our skepticism lowers. Like it's where we understand the variety of experiences one can have in this life. And also we've been saying that like when we are across from someone and they're telling us a story like Tamalin just did, it's impossible to not believe that. Like when someone's speaking from a place of truth, like you are.
When I listen to these other stories, I definitely believe that there are other sides that we don't know about. I just think that we have to be open and receptive to it. I just think we just have to respect the possibility of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I also am not like trying to go there. Like,
Right.
you know, like
Yeah.
I am not messing with no Ouija boards.
No, yes,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's
like
not your
stuff
journey.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like exactly. Like I will. It's just there are parts of that dark world and evil, like that stuff that I'm just not messing
You don't want to touch
with.
it. Yeah.
Like
I get
you know,
that,
and then
yeah.
and the thing is, I am so curious,
Mhm.
but yet I'm still like, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't let.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just curious because I had this experience, and I'm like, what did you know? I'm like, what did you feel? But but I still try to like be really like careful with like not just, you know, I just want to be.
It's a good balance.
Yeah.
And a lot of people we spoke to like they weren't seeking it out.
Yeah,
and
I was
didn't-
not seeking it
Yeah, and they
out.
didn't really believe in this stuff until they had an experience of their own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
if you could ask that apparition or that entity something, what would you ask them?
Ooh, good question.
I feel like I've like read more about how spirits can kind of get stuck in between worlds.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I do hear that in Asian culture, if you don't, something about, I don't know, Asians, like they have to feed your spirits or your past ancestries. And like something about her spirit might have been stuck in between worlds. And so we could have released her spirit. If that is the fact, then it's almost like she didn't realize that she was stuck in between worlds.
Mm.
And that she was probably trying to say, like when we were like, no, it's not real. She's like, no, I'm here.
Yeah.
And the more
Help
that
me.
we did acknowledge her, we were like we did her a favor by letting her go back to where she wanted to be, kind of a thing that didn't know that she was lost.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so if that were to happen to me, God, please don't let it happen to me again. But if it were to happen to me again, I hope I would be brave enough to be like, I'm letting you go so you can be where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want that to happen to me. You know, I'm just saying like if that were the case, because that's what supposedly they say is that sometimes they don't realize that they're stuck in between and they need to go to the afterlife.
Mm.
Right.
What it's
Is there any scenario in which like you would live in a haunted house again? Like if it was like a
No.
crazy price, like coolest house ever. You're like, no,
nope.
Messing with that.
no,
Yeah.
like no conditions. You're like, I'm done with that.
No, I'm like so creeped out by stuff like that. So okay.
Same.
I
Fair.
like, okay, so I'm so, like, you have no, I'm so creeped out. People make fun of me, but I just, again, ever since I was little, I feel like I have the sixth sense.
Yeah.
And so ever since I was a kid, I was like, no, you don't. You're just paranoid.
Right.
I'm like, or I have a sixth sense. No, you don't. You're just paranoid. So last year, on a business trip, found this cute little bed and breakfast in Portland, Maine. And I was like
Love
looking
that.
at all the hotels and I was like, why is everything so old in this place? Like, we're in Portland, Maine, Tamalin, but they're all cute. I'm like, I know, but I just want to make sure it's not haunted. They're like, here we go again. I'm like, you guys, what did I say? I'm like, I know, but stop talking like that. Stop talking like that. Okay, fine. Okay, how does this look? Is everything fine? We're going to stay here? Stop saying that. Okay, fine. So we stay at this place.
Okay.
I do every research. I'm like, I'm trying to look at the history of this thing. This is not haunted. Okay, right. Okay. All right, we're staying at this place. Fine. Everyone's like, the whole team's like, stop saying it. It's not. It's like, it's fine. It's remodeled, cute bed and breakfast. No signs of it haunted. Great. We stay at the place. I'm not kidding you guys. I didn't even, this is a bonus, you guys. No,
Bonus.
please. So we stay there. First night, they say everything happens in threes. I'm going to go bathroom, guys. I'll be right back. Knock, 1, 2,
No,
3.
no,
Oh,
no, not the
God.
knocking.
No,
again.
And I was like,
knocking.
again, knock, 1, 2, 3. And I'm like,
Oh.
what's happening?
Oh,
So then
no.
I get out of the bathroom and I was like, you guys hear that knock? And they're like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, so I called the front desk. I'm like, I'm sorry, because it's an older hotel, but it's been renovated, but it's so cute. It looks like it's like a Victorian home.
Cute.
And I'm like, so I called the front desk. I'm like, sorry, I just don't know if I keep hearing these knocks and I'm just not sure. He's like, really, you're knocking? Because we got in, we're flat, you know, I was like, it's late. It's like 11 o'clock. And I just make sure if there's someone knocking upstairs, whatever. And he's like, I don't hear it, but I can go. Okay. And we kept hearing this dull knocking. 3. I'm like,
God.
dude. So we're all like, okay, we're just gonna ignore this, whatever. And I'm just like, we're good. I take my little sleepy gummy or whatever. I'm like, we're not doing this tonight.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Right.
Knock
And
myself
so we stay there for 3 nights. We enjoy, we eat all the lobster we can for 3 days.
Delicious.
We're
Amazing.
just doing this, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. We enjoy ourselves. No more knocking. It's fine.
Yeah.
Last day, everything's great. We're checking out. Everything good? Yeah, everything great. Well, this was so good. It was a different woman at the reception desk and everything's great. We're leaving. Everything is great. How'd you ever stay? Well, this place was great. So what was this before? She's like, it was a funeral home.
Oh,
No.
there you go.
Literally,
Of course.
you did all the searching.
All the research.
And
Yeah.
it didn't come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got in the car and I looked at the team and I said, you guys,
Right.
it was a funeral home.
I told you.
Damn,
I
And
didn't want
literally the
That's
front desk lady,
crazy.
she was like, well, at least they were dead before they got here.
Oh my God,
And I
so
just was
funny.
I don't know if it works like that though.
That's
Still
creepy.
dead
The knocking.
people. The
frickin'
knocking.
I don't know if I'm paranoid. All I know is I'm good. So
You're good on that. You
I'm
have
just
that.
saying,
You
I
have
don't
that
know. There's
chapter.
always something. I'm good. No, I'm not into
Yeah.
that.
If you were a ghost, we're asking everyone this, a ghost or a spirit, and you had to leave a message for the living, like a message scrawled out on a foggy mirror or like writing on the wall, like your red rum message, like what would you say? What message would you leave behind?
Oh my gosh.
No pressure.
Well, if I were a spirit, who am I leaving this to?
Whoever you want, however you want to interpret the message.
Some people go deep. So a woman wanted to just draw boobs to make
Yeah.
someone laugh. Like it's whatever you want.
We've gotten a myriad of answers.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, I was just gonna say something to my daughter, like make me proud or something. To her.
Oh, that's sweet.
I mean, she always makes me
That's
proud.
so
Yeah.
beautiful.
I love that.
Something to her.
Yeah.
But I don't think that'd probably creep her out more than
Oh,
anything.
right.
She would be.
She already
probably
lived in a haunted
freaked.
house. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
she's
Not
like,
her mom's haunting.
I've seen this
So
story
funny.
before.
That's so funny. Make me proud.
That's a perfect answer,
love
though.
it.
Like,
That's
who doesn't
beautiful.
want to know that like someone's proud of them,
Yeah,
even
of
if it's a
course. I'm proud of
ghost?
you. Yeah, beautiful. I love-
Tamlin, those were incredible stories. You're an
stories.
amazing storyteller. Thank you for coming here
Thanks
today.
for doing this.
Is there anything you want to plug for our listeners?
Yeah, where can people find you? Anything you're promoting right now?
I mean, I do events. If anybody is a brand, or I mean, I do branded pop-up events. I do media dinners. I don't really do weddings.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
Unless you
wedding.
pay me enough.
Get your
Yeah.
checkbook
Right,
out.
right.
What's your website? Where can they look into
Savoir
that?
Agency, SAVOIR agency.com.
Nice.
Not Savior. I'm not your Savior.
Not Savior.
That's the only difference. Yeah.
Savoir.
But SavoirAgency.com. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, this has been another episode of Ghost Girls.
Yes, it has. And, it's a podcast where we talk more about death to learn more about life. And until next time,
Stay curious.
stay curious. Bye.
Bye.
Footsteps fading down the hall, paintings moving on my wall, chills that wrap around my spine, trapped between the threads of time.